In software engineering, we have a very important concept called DRY, which is basically an acronym which says, or rather, which stands for "Don't Repeat Yourself." So it's sort of like a call to action for all programmers when we are writing our code, or when we are writing or developing programs, that we are highly encouraged not to repeat ourselves, as it were, when we are writing code. And you realize that programming languages, all programming languages, basically, they tend to have, or rather, they are going to have some form of functionality that allows you to keep your code dry, as it were, so that you don't need to repeat certain actions or certain statements, as it were. So in Visual Basic, we have the concept of subroutines, and subroutines basically are your equivalent to procedures in pseudocode, right? You identify that you have a certain segment of code, or you have a certain piece of code that you want to use more often, right? So what you can actually do is you can just package those statements or that code into a subroutine, such that whenever you want to make use of that code, you just make a call to the subroutine, as it were. So let's actually go ahead and do that and demonstrate that concept right here. So let's suppose that in our program, we want to be able to console.writeLine. We want to console.writeLine something like maybe hello world, something as simple as that, really. Right. So maybe let's say we wanted to output hello world in different parts of our program. So if we are not using subroutines, essentially that means we have to make use of this entire statement wherever we want it. So we need to go console.writeLine, hello world, console.writeLine, hello world. So basically we're going to need to repeat ourselves in different parts of the program. And when you are developing a large application or a large piece of software, you'd realize that it becomes tedious to actually go and change that. And maybe let's suppose that we now want to change the message that we want to display. Maybe let's say that it's a company name, right? So maybe let's say our company is called Acme Inc. So maybe let's say now we've just had a change of company name in our code. So it would actually mean that you actually have to go and find each and every line that is the company name in it, so that you can actually change it. So in that way, it becomes tedious to edit or to maintain your code. So an easier way, or rather the elegant solution to that, is to declare a subroutine called company name. Then what we can do inside of this subroutine is we simply take this line and paste it inside of the company name subroutine, such that whenever we want to print out the company name, we just make a call to the company name subroutine. So if we do this, it's essentially going to write the code that is inside of the company name subroutine. So let's actually go ahead and run this code, and you see that we get the name of our company, which is Acme Incorporated. So in our program, wherever we need to just print out the name of the company, we just make a call to the company name subroutine. Then maybe let's suppose that we wanted to add more functionality to or rather we wanted to output more information. Let's say maybe the company address. So we simply have to go in one place and say 123 Main Street, Harare. Right. So that's how you can actually go about adding additional functionality to the company name subroutine. And if we go ahead and run this, you realize that we simply need, inside of the main method or inside of the main subroutine, we are just making a call to company name, and it's actually displaying everything that is inside of the company name subroutine, as it were. So that's how you can actually keep your code modularized, or rather organized, if I should say. Then so this is one approach to writing subroutines. Then another approach to writing subroutines is you can actually create subroutines that can take arguments when they are called. So let's actually go ahead and do that. So you realize that I'm getting those red squiggly lines is because I have the same company name subroutine, But what I can actually do is to have maybe let me declare variable called message as a string right here, so you see that the error goes away. So right here I'm actually demonstrating another important concept of object-oriented programming, which is called overriding or overloading, as it were. So overloading basically means that you can have the same name for a subroutine, right? But these subroutines, they now have to have different parameter or argument lists. Like if you see this subroutine on line 7, it doesn't take any arguments. When you call it, it just runs the code that is inside of it. Then this company name subroutine, it actually needs to take a message. Remember, message is just a local variable name for the message that we've declared in this particular subroutine. So when I call this company name subroutine, I actually have to pass in a string right here. So let me just do something with the string that would have been passed down here. So what I can do is I can just do something like console.writeLine. Then I simply want to pass or print out the message just like that. So when I come back here, let's say I change my function call, then I say this is a message, right? And I'm going to run this code. So I want to demonstrate what's going to happen in this case because of overloading. So you realize that we are going to get this is a message printed onto the screen. So what's happening is the VB compiler is smart enough to know that since I've been given a string right here, I'm supposed to, or rather the programmer is intending to call this company name subroutine, is it? So it's going to take the subroutine, right? So it's going to take this is a message and place it right here, because we passed it as a parameter, or rather as an argument to the company name subroutine. So it's just going to output whatever we pass it there. So that's actually how you can make or rather recycle code by making subroutines. So you can have subroutines that don't take an argument, or you can also have subroutines that takes 2 arguments. Then maybe just to demonstrate the concept a bit further, we can actually have a subroutine called sum, right? And it takes 2 parameters. So I'm just going to call this one x as int. Let's say it's just a 16-bit int. Rather, let me just make it an integer, just like so that I don't have to specify the number of bits needed to store the value. So we are going to declare 2 variables, x and y as integer inside of the parameter list right there. Then what I want to do is I want to just console.writeLine the sum of then I put x right here, another ampersand, then we go and then we put a y, then we put another ampersand right here, then we say is, then inside of here we can simply give the sum of x and y, right? So this is another subroutine that you can, another approach to writing a subroutine that can take more than 1 argument. So the company name on line 12 subroutine is taking 1 argument, another 1 parameter. It has 1 parameter definition, is it? But on line 16 we have 2 parameter definitions. So it means that when we call this method, the sum subroutine, it's going to take 2 arguments, is it? So let's actually go ahead and do that right here. Maybe we can just call all of our subroutines. So let's call company name right here. Then let's also call sum. Then we are going to pass maybe 15 and 85 as arguments. Then let's go ahead and run this. When we run it, wait for the console window to pop up. You see that we get Acme Inc. Main Street Harare. Then this is a message. So I think I'm getting an error here. So it's saying that system index out of range, index was out of bounds. Alright, let me fix this real quick. Alright, so it turns out I was missing an ampersand right here, so it wasn't concatenating the sum at the end right there. So let me just go ahead and clear the console, run the program one more time, and you should see that we get the sum being 100. Just pull up the console window here. So Acme Inc., that is the code to the first subroutine. Then the second code to the subroutine is giving us these two output, 2 lines of output right there. Then a code to the sum, subroutine is actually giving us the sum of 15 and 85 is 100. So yeah, I think that's the basics of subroutines in Visual Basic. You can declare subroutines without parameters, you can declare subroutines with parameters, and when you call those subroutines, you actually have to pass arguments to them. So yeah, I think maybe we'll be moving on to functions in the next episode, so I'll see you in the next one.